Oi, oi, welcome back to another flat day night. Good to see you all, guys. Reasons to be cheerful, part 3. The first reason is this: it is flat day. And the world is not the terrible place that they tell you it is, because we have a flat day. The second reason is you get a bright and sparkly mat, I guess. And the third reason is that we're all together to have a jolly good time. And I am going to bring the juice off. I mean, we're having an ultimate Marticus van der Graaf flat day night. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. If you're into this subject, you're about to get big time treatage. So there's that. Good to see you all. Let a few of you. Oh, there was just 111 in my chat then. And my belly went all funny. Ooh. Okay. This just threw me. No, I love Hugh. He's in chat. He always brings brilliant jokes before every flat day and just makes me giggle before every. Just gets a vibration in the right place. Does our Hugh. I mean, he said this earlier. So we use mobile phones every day in our ordinary lives. Why don't they show up in dreams? I'm going to really need to contemplate this one, Hugh. I think there's a deeper meaning to all of that. Why don't we ever see phones in dreams? That's just nuts, because that's fucking true. We don't. Whew. Whew. I have to contemplate that one later after the show, I think, for a few hours. Whew. You like my shirt? Thank you, Peter. Yeah, we are bright and sparkly colours today, as you can see. We've got all the ambience. Thank you, Mr. Marmite. We do love you. And it's Roy, my bro. And Jay, right, let's give you a few of your shots. Let a few of you rally in. I'll tell you what's going to be going on tonight. We're going to blow the doors off here all. I'm going to talk about 3 separate subjects, although they do tie into one another. We're going to talk about the erasure of the empire, and you can guess which one. How Tartaria was hidden in plain sight. And we're going to look at the World's Fair's hoax. Indeed. And I know there's a lot of debate about it, but when I show you and I explain all, I'm going to use the example of the Columbian Exposition of Chicago for an example, because of its ridiculous longevity. It was only supposed to be there 6 months, from May to Halloween, October. It makes no sense anyway, whatever. So we're going to look at that, and then we're going to go into Starforts, but not just Starforts and their energy grid, but we're going to talk about their mechanism and how they might work, how they would convert energy. We're going to go right into that, okay? So, and key conversion methods as well, which has never really been spoken about. We're going to go right into that on the old Starfortage, and we're going to talk about orders of knights and the knights of Templar, the Knights Templar, and why all of these orders of knights disappeared off the face of the earth, like the Templars, because they just like disappeared, didn't they? So and we'll link it all in together, and images of the day, vintage pics, and at the end of the show, all what's been going on in Flat Earth British, which is quite a bit, and all the things you can do if you're planning on getting about and doing stuff this year, okay? Because the weather will shineth. And I know, like, people say, well, this could happen and that can happen. Haven't you seen the news? No, afraid not. Haven't seen the news. And even if it was like, you know, worldwide pandemic, it wouldn't stop me doing shit like I didn't the last time. So unless there's like nukes dropping, the world goes on, and all will go on as well. You're stuck on an advertisement. Well, it'll only be the one, because I take them all out if YouTube just fanny it up and pile them in. So there's that. So we all feeling comfy. Make sure you're relaxed for this one. Sitting down, don't drive. You know, don't want to leave you in shock factor at the wheel. Okay, let's have a look. Bluebirds in the house. Thank you, Bluebird, lovely person. So you all feeling groovy? No? Yummy? No? Well, you will be. There's like loads of vehicles outside. So what's happening, Squirrel? I can see my friend. Okay. So yeah, thank you, Dusky. That is the spirit. It's like the internet. It's just, God, it's a really, really miserable place, isn't it? I just don't know what's the matter with everyone. I'm like, lighten up, man. And really, when you get to a certain age, I think you just don't take life as serious because you know it's all a game anyway, and it's all like literally the game is set to fail, for fuck's sake. So you just got to ride it. It's just like I watched last night. I don't know whether you watched it. I linked it up in my chat. It was a really good debate with Christopher Sabaris, who I linked up this week, but he talked to Eric Dubé. He went on his channel or vice versa. Anyway, really good philosophical discussion on, you know, the cycle of reincarnation and the fact that, you know, we're born into this place, we're babies, we know absolutely fucking nothing, okay? So we are like, wee. So God, you know, if I was God, this is what I would have done. You know everything, you are, you know, you just sort it like animals with all of your skill sets from the off. So there won't be no struggling right the way through it or learning like a maggot at the fucking beginning, right? And then you have to go through all the struggle of life and learning and getting beaten up in the school, in the schoolyard, falling over, grazing your knee, wah. And then later growing up, holy fucking shit, is this for real? Right? As soon as you get there. And then think, well, I just have to, like all the other people around me, I guess I'll just have to ride it like everyone else. Wow, such a fucking strange thing. But you got to do it because what's the alternative? And then so it starts like this as a baby, okay? And then you get to like 30, 35, there's your peak, and then back down again. So you start, you know, your mind, your body, everything starts to go fucking west. After a certain age. Now, what the fuck is that? What? God did that? That is so fucking rubbish. I could have done that, like, but I don't know, that's just like, what the fuck? Okay. And then endless amounts of, because, you know, to learn your lesson, even though you have a memory wipe right at the very beginning, so all the lessons you learned from the previous life are completely fucking forgotten. And then you got to go through it over and over and over again. So is that what they're saying? Is existence is just like endless fucking torture? Is that what they're saying? No, man. See, I will not settle for that thought, because I don't think that's what's going on. I think that's what they want to think is going on. I think we're infinitely powerful. I feel when I like sort of looking into my mind of what I am infinitely capable of, I get infinitely more powerful. It is just incredible that all of the secrets to unlocking this place, the universe, if you want to call it that, are actually is in our mind. It's just the most fascinating thing to me. Amy Groundhog Day. It is, but it isn't. If I notice that, you know, we talk about breaking pattern, observation mode, which I've been practicing, I'm still practicing, which bears different fruits. And I don't attach myself to anything in the exterior world. I'm of the world, but not in the world. So, like, you know, all of the agendas that are being played, you know, like all this shit that's going down with fucking Trump and Elon. One minute they're fucking besties sniffing one another, and the next minute they're like the worst enemies in the world, apparently. Russian Vids called that out in February when he was, you know, arsing around with his black eye in the Oval Office. It's all really stupid and weird, guys. And the space thing. Honestly, humanity is on the brink of growing up, I think. You know, there was inklings of it with what Eric was saying on that show I watched yesterday. Eric at Bay on his own. He's woken up tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions, to not only the shape of the earth, guys, but that the fact that the mainstream media and schools and history and all of it is just fucking bullshit. Once you wake up to that fact alone, you know, and even, you know, the simplest folk out there now, you know, the ordinary people out there in Britain, you know, it's like the rest of the world, but Britain, they are realizing that mainstream media is bullshit and that they're telling lies. Everybody is understanding this, thanks to things like Robertson getting out of jail and stuff. But, you know, it's bringing to the attention of, you know, everybody, you know, the absence of free speech and the things that aren't permitted. It's all coming out. So there is, personally myself, guys, I've woken up maybe, I don't know, 10 million to this, the history is a lie and that it has been rewritten. And there's no doubt in my mind that the information is so weak, ass, evil, sludgy. Humanity is not that, guys. Humanity is super duper creative. You don't see too many amazing creative artists in the modern day, like they used to. But the creative artists of old were, unfortunately, if they were organically grown, a natural talent, they didn't do very well if they're in the wrong bloodline. So that's the spirit. Thank you, Dusky. Right, this is my little obligatory talk. The question is why? Well, look, I'm not going to settle for there's just others controlling humanity, because the power of our mind is infinitely strong, like I said. And maybe that is the trick, is that we were always in the power, which I think we were, and it is always what we want, and it was never them. And then they just, siphoned off our energy, with negativity, keeping us in fear of this, that, and the other, when none of it was fucking real. I lived 30 years in fear of nuclear war, guys, like the Cold War. And then suddenly everyone's like, hey ho, on with the show, close all the bunkers, we're not doing that one anymore. And the whole of humanity just goes, hey ho, like fucking 1984 book. Chocolate rations up 2 grams. It's just a special kind of Stockholm syndrome. But the good news is, I really do think you wouldn't find out online. They wouldn't tell you online, guys. But things like flat Earth itself are one of the biggest searches on the internet, and everybody knows somebody who's a flat earther. Everyone does now. 10 years ago, when I started talking about flat Earth, fuck me, the reception used to have back then. But now, completely acceptable to talk about it. What's that? Excuse me. Ooh. TJ, thank you. Kathy, what's that? Remember? Oh God, sorry to. Let me just get the Cheryl in a minute. Remember being afraid back in the 80s of secular. I don't do the fear thing myself, but I'm not all that. I'm not. My lift don't go to the top floor. I'm not all there, my mother used to say. Exactly. Fear is the problem and love is the answer. Okay, yeah, it is. What it is, I noticed that people will always be geared to negativity. I've noticed it. They are really just hooked. They don't even know why they're doing it. It's just, oh, hey ho, I'm bored for the moment. Let's find something to bum me out, rather than the opposite. It's really fucking weird. But the construct, now all of that can turn around. Like I said, guys, there's all of these terrible things happening in the world, apparently. And then there's all of us, like hundreds of people, like 3,500 of us, doing a Saturday night and being all groovy. Yeah. Where is it all? Who gives a fuck? You see what I mean? It's all about perspective. It's all about where you put your attention, I won't focus on, I know all of these things probably happened somewhere, but they ain't happening to me. But if they did happen to me, then there would be a reaction. Until then, I'm going to concentrate on the job at hand, which is truth. Getting my things into perspective in my later life. Loopers. Yeah, could be, man. Listen. Oh man, it's such a tricky one. Just think about it, though. I always never been an atheist. I always thought of God and a creator, but what a fucking shit show to create. I really do think this is not the realm. I know I keep saying it, but I don't think this is the realm of the 80s and the 90s. I think there's been something's happened where they're doing a weak-ass imitation, a weak-ass comedic comedy, cartoon, world leaders and world affairs. It's just I just can't see why other people can't see how fucking stupid it all is. Insane. It's just, it used to be some structures to society, and now it's all fucking insane. And that was stupid back then, but now, fuck me. What was it? What was that famous quote? Yeah, they make it more obvious. They're making it more obvious is what they're doing, what they're up to with all their bullshit. They want us to know. They want people to wake up. So there always seems to be lessons in everything, and for us to learn for some reason, and which is why the conversation I'm talking about is, if this place is a schoolroom, then why are we wiped? Because, you know, you'd have to start like fucking that film with Tom Cruise, Back to Square One, but he remembers and retains his thoughts, you know? Anyway, whatever. I'm going to stick myself and stay into a lower state of entropy. That way you do not get old. I can stay pretty much the same, even when you're older, which is chilling the fuck out, okay? Not being in like Panic at the Disco mode, because that's really bad for your health. All illness and dis-ease is caused by dis-ease, you not being at ease. All of it is from stress and environmental stress. All of it. All of it is mine. Because we can overcome it. I have millions of times, all sorts. And I've got miracle healing powers. Literally, just by holding my hands, holding the hands of the afflicted, all my attention, although it does leave me weak, I can bring them back from the brink of death. And I have done it twice. That's the truth. So, God, Heart, Guardian. So what would you say, I wonder? Yeah. Mr. Marmite, is he being witty? I like Mr. Marmite. Oh, Mellage is in the house. Black Sheep and Dan. Black Sheep is Dan. Dan means ace. Ace Amundo in Mellage language. Thank you, Berju. And everybody in the chat. Mr. Marmite, some sheep are white and some are black face. Aha, I get it. Yeah, that's true, that is. Yeah. Ha ha ha. Mr. Marmite is actually all right, isn't he? Well, I noticed the internet with all this AI and that, it's just like there's no one's real anymore. You know, they got these adverts and all weird shit, and it's all really icky. I can't look at any of it, really. It's just, I can't. I don't know everyone else, not themselves, but personally, it's just like, fuck no. So it's not good to my soul. So I can't look at it. And what of the soul, anyway? You know, where we getting that information from? It's them again, isn't it? It's just words for whatever this is. I you know, the more you think about it, I just say it's some sort of technology. That's what it fucking looks like to me. And I've seen it. I've seen that digital code. I've seen it many, many times. I see the pixelations of this place. Because if you get down to it, that's what's going on. But how powerful are we then? What a trick to hijack consciousness. And what has happened to the country I live in, I don't actually know what has happened to the public. Each day I go out, it gets, and it's not me manifesting it, it's just the way it is out there, increasingly more desperate in the population. The look on their faces, it's like the fucking night of the living dead. What happened to everyone's fashion sense? How come everyone looks like a dog's dinner? Don't anyone make any effort in the morning to fucking make themselves look good anymore? Honestly, it's stick on a t-shirt, stick on a baggy pair of fucking trousers, a pair of sneakers, out you go, you're done for the day. That wasn't what it was like back in the day. Fuck me. I used to spend an hour before I went out getting all my clothes ironed, my Dr. Martens fucking sparkly, but that was for the blood to drip off. And yeah, just getting looking fucking awesome. You know, that was my thing. That's what everybody was doing. There was all different fashions, all, you know, going on back then, and now everyone looks exactly the same. Fucking hell. And there's a whole culture that are wearing like anti-camouflage, bright colors that are not very nice. I've always had a phobia to pink myself. It's like, fuck no. You know, even to the extent like I just can't even look in the pink, in anything colored pink's direction. It's like that same blue they had on the masks. It's like the vibration of the color makes me feel a bit nauseous, like I might throw up on you. So what was that? It's like pink. So, sorry. That's just me, though. I don't know. Well, color is a frequency, you see. Yeah. And pink's the color of pizza vomit. coincidentally. So, Amy Wood. What you think about irrelevant? I really couldn't give a flying fuck about all of them entitled fucks that made them all so fucking very rich off the flat earth. Why would I? So annoying to me when people fucking give them credibility like they mean anything. It's all very strange is what I will fucking say after 10 years preaching one thing and then switch a fucking Rooney. You know, but it's none of my business anyway, and everything is accountable in this place. There's that. And, you know, I wouldn't fucking do it because that's just like epic traitor, isn't it, to humanity? So there's that. You know, which side of history are you going to die on? That's the question. And lying on your deathbed and thinking to yourself, what? Was my life worth it? Did I actually make a difference in this place? Did I achieve anything in this place? And personally, at this stage of my life, at 57, at this stage, I would say yes. For myself personally, I would be happy that I did good. Other people, well, when they look back, they'll be like, shit, I fucked it. I fucked everybody over and I did wrong. I forgot to be me. Because that's where everyone gets lost. You know, I got sympathy for all these people that have been involved in this psyop. You know, I don't give a fuck about like these entitled, rich as fuck people who got serious debt and use the flat earth to make some money. Because that's at the end of the day what exactly happens. And what's the worst thing it done? It fucking discredited the Gleason's map from 1897. Who gives a fuck? Not really, maybe. According to Steve Forrester, not. So there's that, isn't there? You know, it's all just bullshit. And people are being played, is what's happening, by loads of fucking people who knew exactly what they were doing years ago. Because it's all been fucking orchestrated by a great orchestrator in the background. Well, I bet I'm infinitely annoying too. A sneaking suspicion. But there is another side to all of this. I got a feeling there's like two sides. There's three sides to every coin. But with this, whatever's going on in this spiritual warfare that I find myself in the middle of constantly, I would say there is a really nasty, spiteful side, really dark side, and a really benevolent, beautiful, all-powerful side that I'm on. So I really don't give a fuck. I'm not worried. I'm literally a holy man. So there's that. So should we get into some juiceage? Did we like our little warm-up chattage? Yeah, I feel good about that. Crazy about the no phones in dreams. I'm going to have to think about that. Jesus Christ, what is going on? I need some contemplating there. Oh, you've done my head in, Hugh. So, hiya, Rachel. Okay, we got 400 odd of you, so good amount to start and get into the juiceage. And I'm going to explain a load of stuff in the best manner I possibly can. Stuff that we've been talking about for years, but I'm going to go deeper than I usually do and elaborate things better than I usually do because I'm making an effort to be better for you all. And for myself, because I'm a bit of a perfectionist. Juiceage. We're not really anti-Semitic here, though. I'm just letting you know that. We're not anti any fucking thing here. Me, I live and let live. I couldn't give a flying fuck because I ain't brainwashed. And these books that everyone's like, citing, the controller information. So help your fucking selves. You don't take food from the enemy. No literature. Fact. Okay. Yusuf. So let's start here. We're going to talk about something that's been brought up for many years. I started talking about these, 2017, I guess it was. And it is the, the expositions, the World's Fairs. I noticed these initially back in about 2016. I started talking about like there's something going on with these. Have you noticed all the fucking fantastic architecture? It's like literally out of this world. Excuse me, let me get that. Oh, that won't spoil the image. Jojo the juicist at the bottom. We'll be fine for a minute. So basically what we're looking at here, I know loads of you know this, is the World's Fair, one of the biggest and one of the best in America, okay? And it is the Columbian Columbia Exposition, World's Fair. That was held in Chicago. And that was in the year of 1893. But the weird thing is they say in the official narrative that they built all of this, okay, imitation world, full of all of this intricacy and antiquity. And they say that it was built or opened on May the 5th. Okay, stop. May the 5th. Okay. It was opened on May the 5th and it was closed October 31st, Halloween. It was open 6 months exactly. So I'm guessing they built the buildings around the trees because they look like they've been there a long time. Giant palm trees too. That far north in Chicago. I don't know. But anyway, so Columbia Exposition, full of waterways. Now, excuse me. So for centuries, this is the Phoenician theme, is what you see here. Just like Venice, the home of the Phoenicians, Venice is all waterways and canals and a specific kind of architecture. Anyway, so the Phoenician elite have rewritten history, as I've explained many times. All of this gets destroyed, by the way, but you know all of that. So, excuse me, let me get my papers ready. Ooh. So they buried the true origins of civilization under layers of deceit, false information, and mud. Because these are old world buildings, and I really think that they were there all along. Because history has been rewritten. So what are the clues? Okay. So, excuse me, I can't even see with these fucking glasses. I've got no close-ups. Well, it's one of the greatest cover-ups in history. I can guarantee you that. So what they did is they rebranded Tartaria, the existence of what was left, what you're seeing here, rebranded it, called it the Exposition, or Exposition, what's that? It's a museum full of exhibits that you can't buy, and it's all booty, all what they gathered from that world. The spoils of war, if you like, are all on exhibit. So it's like a double gaslighting. Steal the architecture, call it the Great Expositions and the World's Fairs. Look at it. You telling me all of that there? Okay, all of that there. You see that? It was built for 6 months. All of it. Everything you see there. Well, I know if I can buy it. Anyway, so the Tartarian Legacy is there. It's in plain sight. Now, a lot of these places mostly were destroyed. Okay, fires, anomalous fires. In the case of Chicago, anomalous fire. A few remnants of these buildings exist, as you know. The Arch Rotunda in San Francisco, parts of the expositions in Paris still exist, and elsewhere. There are some of these buildings that are still around, which proves that they weren't really put there for temporary measure. If the buildings are still there 150 fucking years later. So there's that. So imagine, right, a place of magnificent palaces, towering domes, and intricate waterways, which is what we get here. Just mind-blowing, really. Structures so advanced that they cannot be replicated by modern architects. When was the last time you've seen any of this built? No, it's all bullshit. No, they can't build, rebuild, and do anything. They seem to have lost the ability to run civilization for some reason. It's like what do we do with civilization? It's all gone everywhere. Nuts. Anyway, but it's meant to be. I'm sure all is in a plan for some reason. So these buildings here, they weren't built for World's Fairs. Look at this, the double parody of old world. And you know what they do as well? Can you see these peoples here, these indigenous peoples? Well, apparently they shipped them up from all corners of the earth, and they had them on exhibits. In the case of this exposition, they had literally cages with Filipino children in, as kept like animals in the expositions. I got photographs. Anyway, look at this, a little bit of Germany in the middle of Chicago. And as I said, all inside of these expositions are this. which another thing I find it difficult to imagine that all of the intricacy that you witness on the outside of all of these buildings over a vast area of acres and acres and acres. You get inside the buildings and then you witness what looks like marble wobbly columns. Looks like that purple marble, that beautiful stuff, doesn't it? And intricacy and design and motifs on almost every square inch. They even took the time, just for 6 months of people, mind you, to do works of art on every single panel around, making sure that there is nowhere without artifacts and decoration. And this would be what was left over from that world. Hidden in plain sight. It's no doubt in my mind. It's just too anomalous. It's just too crazy to think that this was built for 6 months. And these buildings, some of them exhibit mud floods as well, I've noticed. So there's definitely that going on. So the mud flood connection and the Great Reset. Okay. So beneath these structures of the World's Fairs, you can see buried cities, submerged windows, like what we see in the rest of the world, where they're showing mud flood for some reason, like lower windows. So that just proposes that it was there earlier on when the mud flood was there. Okay. That wiped out Tartaria by the Phoenician invaders who came across the ice wall. And then possibly the Tartarians regathered after a couple of centuries, got their strength back together, and then got the fuck out of Dodge over the ice wall away from these nutcases. Okay. Before they reset it all again with their advanced technology, because they got the powerful Lords of Water. The Lords of Watery Wickedness. I know, check that out though, guys. It's just mind-boggling, isn't it? You know, all of these bits to stick up. There's a statue on every single one. So what? They got someone, you know, to carve every single statue. Okay, well, let's just stop there, right, guys? So this is 1898, okay? But in 1871, Chicago was all but destroyed. Just like the same story for San Francisco. And then they find the money to build all of Chicago's big old Tartarian buildings back and put this little chestnut down. All by what, 1871 to 1898. Sorry, I'm not very good at math. Not many years. Anyway, to rebuild the city and then build all this. Where'd all the money come from? It's like I know they're the richest country in the world, but Jesus, it just makes no sense, guys. And what another thing that has struck me as well is that, you know, this is America of 1898. Okay, it's not the Wild West days. Okay, but what is their inspiration for this architecture? For the whole World's Fairs theme, for the whole world, is it replicated? It could be in Tokyo, this. Could be in Calcutta, this could be in Casablanca, this, and they will all look exactly the same. An innate, classical, maybe themed Tartarian architecture, rigged up with antiquitech, with waterways for channeling energy. Because it's a copy of Phoenicia. Because that's what it would have looked like. Look at all of them wind turbines. But they wouldn't have been for sale. That'd be the point. Unless they are generating electricity, of course. But look at this one here. It's not like your Wild West back garden horror movie windmill. These ones are on big steel struts, like antennas. Look at this stuff. So all of that, you know, we just got their bullshit that what they're telling us is going on. But that could have been like free energy stuff, which is what I think was going on. In 1898, I think it was still happening, but it was being phased out because, you know, Edison and Tesla narrative. Where are we going to put the meters? The free energy gotta go. That specific resonance key seems to have been lost, but not to them. Not to them. And look at the vastness of this, guys, how big it is. How 5G towers, well, electromagnetic technologies have been a part of it all the way through. Can't deny that at all. Look at this. Okay, guys, it's supposed to be just dig, right? It's supposed to be built in May and all over with by October, but conveniently Halloween October. But then there's a big fire that destroys the fairground and a good portion of some of the buildings around the water, around the lake, the central lake. This old German building looks old as fuck. Are you telling me that they had the time and know-all to just hang on, let's make that German building, look old as fuck? And these little shrubs, they had time to put these little shrubs in around it. No, man, this is old stuff, guys. This is old stuff. Just can't get my head around why they would do that. And look at the inside. It's always with the curtains, isn't it? Plush purple curtains. And this looks really like what you'd see on the walls in Pompeii. Yeah, these paintings, these classical paintings. It's like they're the real thing. And what's he doing? Zeke Kyle? Or Seek Kyle, I should say. So, yeah, this is nuts. See, look, 1893. Let's check out that wheel, right? They don't even have big wheels that big in the modern day. These are like railway carriages size as well. In fact, I think they probably were. But this wheel goes up in flames along with all of this fairground. I think there's something going on with fairgrounds. Yeah, so they built all of that exposition place, which is like Crystal Palace, isn't it? Glass and iron. And they had the time to make all of that ornate wrought iron for 6 months. Infinite detail over acres and acres and acres and acres, all surrounded by water like Starforts, or like a little bit like Phoenicia, like Venice. All of them. The Phoenician totem with the ships coming through it. We've seen this all over the Christendom. I bring your attention to that a lot. And look at this inside. What is that clock tower? It's got French and a Union Jack on there, American flags. See, I recognize a lot of this stuff, the lock-in thing, the Phoenician lock-in thing. Sat for Regina. I don't know. So I'm not sure why there's all tents outside. I couldn't possibly tell you, but they did bring a lot of people in for processions, etc. They had soldiers and all of that, and the old bells. We'll talk about them in the future, but we're not doing that this vlog because they are a really super interesting technology. Okay, there's a good old Brit. I think that's George Washington, isn't it? He's got a cod piece on. Okay, he's sticking a sword in the air. Okay, he who lives by the sword dies by the sword. And just bringing that to your attention, George. Yeah, don't listen to them aliens. They're telling you bollocks. So, got Spanish flag going on. Just replicated little bits of the world. Unbelievable this is. Look at these quality of these pictures. Tropical plants. Look at these. Is that banana? But I guess they'll grow great in the greenhouses because all of this is under a glass dome, isn't it? Look at that Phoenician with a flag. Jeez. They are super duper vain. They always got mirrors as well. And if you notice the society, there's no doubt in that this is hell, this is hell realm. And, they're all like Satan's little fucking minions, aren't they? Most of them. And they're all right and crazy vain. Have you noticed that? Get me to the mirror. Oh, it don't look too good. Fuck, Me, I looks like I've been dragged through edge backwards half the time. I couldn't give a fuck. Because I'm just doing me. And people are just much more like, they look better to me if they're much more natural. That's the way I think about things. So there's a big boat, Phoenician boat. I got pictures of that. That's quite incredible. So I'm guessing they said millions of people came through here over 6 months. And I think it's Tartaria hidden in plain sight. Everywhere in the world, these things, guys. I could show you any major capital. Buenos Aires, Montevideo, everywhere in South America, everywhere in Africa, everywhere in Asia. You can see North American totems, scrotum totems. They're a bit weird. I don't know what they mean, actually, really. The Algerian theatre and glass engravers. Little bit of Moorish theme going on there. Ooh, and a Moorish temple. You can learn all about them. Oh, the Irish village. Oh, where you can kiss the Blarney stone. It's Blarney's castle. It's not really. But look at all of this. This looks like free energy stuff, a lot of this, guys, in this big auditorium. Look at this stuff. You know, Bunko Boo. Sorry, it's such a grainy image when you mark up. But yeah, they're like crazy domes things going on. Can't work any of it out, really. So we're 500 of you watching. Good to see you all today. Could you make sure to please share this video and like and subscribe if you like. Check that out. It's quite beautiful, isn't it? Imagine the old world going up that river. It'd have been so delightful. But they hijacked it, brainwashed the new arrivals, I suspect, with the new world, the new paradigm that everyone just floated into. Fucking awesome. Don't ask too many questions about what you're doing, yeah, or the meaning of life. I wonder if this is why the Victorians, late Victorians, were so interested in spirituality. What I mean by that, there was a lot of psychic mediums and a lot of like spiritualist churches up and running, you know, especially in the Edwardian times. What was their fascination with the afterlife and trying to communicate with the so-called dead? They were like literally obsessed with it, more so than I would say in the modern day. You know, don't see any of that going on where I actually live. It's beautiful, isn't it? All that decoration and effort, guys. So that Ferris wheel was a scary ride. Only if you're scared of heights. And to be honest with you, heights are nothing to be scared of. The thing is, you only fall the once. So there's no point worrying about it. Okay. So yeah, you get all these indigenous people. So apparently like grabbed. Do you want to come to Chicago? What's Chicago? You'll love it. Yeah, what the fuck ever. Everyone else is living in big palaces apparently, and they're living out in little mud huts and stuff. Look at this world. There's not too many people around though, is there, for all this cape for 6 months? Oh, isn't it wonderful? Just not too many people around. I got pictures of its opening day. There seems to be a multitude, but after that, the pictures are really sketchy. So we got like some sort of Bedouin person with gold coin technology, and were they persuasive? She's got a lot of gold going on though, so I'll give them that. Oh well, there's a nomad there. Jesus, did they ship you and your camel over? Fucking hell. Muslim symbol that he made sure was shown there. Oh, fucking hell. Escobar don't look too happy, do he? It's like they're making me wear he's probably got like an American accent. Look what they're making me fucking wear. Grass skirt and all. So another Muslim lady. Or Turkish lady. Turkey. So, and Native Americans. See, everyone, like, when I grew up, I thought they were how and come scalp you. Turns out, like in the 1860s, they got like fucking Levi jeans on, nice shirts they wear as well, because they got nice colors and fashions as the Indians. I really like these chest plates. This is why these were taken on by 60s musicians. And Jimi Hendrix had one of these Indian chest plates, among other musicians, if I remember rightly. So yeah, you can live in there. You'll be very happy until the whole place burns down, and then you're on your own in the city. I'm sure you'll be all right. Oh, he's got an American flag for a skirt. Bells on your fingers, bells on your toes. She shall have music where... Oh, these ones are doing the hacker type thing. So they're like Polynesian, aren't they? They're from the Pacific somewhere, Southern Pacific. Hula baby, raw. Hula baby gonna hula. I mean, I was thinking about Elvis as well this week. It's a funny fucking story, that one. Something weird with all that. I doubt he's ever dead anyway. Probably just getting away from that weird mafia controlling his ass. So this is what they do. In the days before the internet, they used to have stick fights. Because people used to get really bored when I was young. People used to get bored. We used to live like in where I live, where I still am. there's just nothing you have to make your own entertainment. It's not the internet back then. So, okay, so I think that was a repurposed bit of Tartaria that they just bullshitted through the historical narrative and fake news, so to speak. Same with these little beauties. Now, if you can see this image here, let me just get that. I'm going to come back for a second, guys, because basically I want to get that little ting off the screen because whatever phobia I've got, that is triggering it. So I hope you're all enjoying yourself. 600 of you in chat. Jolly good to see you. Thank you for being here on a flatter day. So yeah, Starforts. Let's talk about juicy Starforts, shall we? Okay, that's nice for in a minute. Okay, so this is a really beautiful image, and I think it's going to explain what I'm going to try and explain quite well. Now, with this image of this Starforts, one in Holland, you can literally see the angles or the direction of where the technasmia waves would, or layman's terms, magnetic flow, would, the direction it would travel in through these arrows, and then the later arrows, and then the later arrows, like a wave of energy, a wave of usable energy. And it's not as difficult as you might think. So there's the Starfort conspiracy that is ongoing. We're talking about this for probably 7-8 years now, since I first got my eyeballs on them. I was like, holy fuck, why didn't they show these in school? Okay, so the official narrative is that they are bastions, some of them built as early as the 15, but mostly 16 and 1700s. Now, I visited one of these in Sagres. It was a pack of shit. Okay, I didn't even like it. The buzz in there was nasty because loads of slaves had gone from there, and the whole thing was icky. So, but they weren't always. Not all of them were icky. Okay, I think that these were used by knights. I'm going to go into that in a minute. Now, again, the hidden Tartarian energy grid we've talked about for many years. The ability, the resonance, and the somatics that are the design of Starforts. Okay, so for centuries, Starforts have been dismissed as being merely military structures, which they are not. They have been utilized and repurposed as military structures, but that's not what they were. That is a lie. So these are geometric. And not only are they geometric marvels, they are the most fantastic structures we know of in the world today, and nobody is talking about them. They are in most, if not all, countries of the earth. I mean, everywhere. Little tiny islands in, I don't know, Mauritius, that you wouldn't even know existed. You will find a military starfort. They will say, oh yeah, well, that one was the East India Company knocked that up to combat pirates. Oh right, did you ever catch any pirates? No, not really. So it's all just mythos and stories for newspapers and what the East India Company tell us, is it? Yeah. Okay, so that's not a pirates fake narrative. Anyway, as it all is. So I think that these marvels were harvesting a ancient energy grid. Okay, here what we're looking at here, unbelievable actually, is a map overhead of Rotterdam in Holland. You can see that the center of Rotterdam has a big ancient starfort. It's got another one on the other side as well. Now, in World War II, the mayor had given his surrender to the Nazis and said, please don't bomb our beautiful Tartarian city. So they took no notice whatsoever. The Luftwaffe came over. The blue bits are buildings that are missing. I've been to Rotterdam many times. The center is just flatness because they literally disintegrated Rotterdam. But not only did they centralize all of that bombing on the city, it was the Starfort that they took out. And they did it for numerous cities in World War II. They attacked the Starforts, the Starfort of Rotterdam, and all of the intensity was inside the Starfort. It's no longer a fortress. And why do you think they were doing that? And look at it, right on the River Maas. So here is another lovely little, on the Rhine, another lovely little German Starfort from the year J633. And inside is a city. But always remember, these arrows are on the corners. You can see these all over antiquity. And other buildings are not necessarily Starforts. You're going to see on the corners, rather than just an ending corner, a coin, you will see an arrow shape for directionalization of this ancient technology. So they harness forces beyond our current understanding. But I'm going to give you a little idea of what I think is going on. Okay. So we're going to talk about the Starforts. Excuse me. This is from an ancient papyrus or an ancient vellum, Arab vellum, animal skin. You can see this symbol on here, but it is ancient and it precedes Starfort, yet it is showing essentially a Starfort. So I think they're a lot older. Oh, I love this image. This one's in Holland too. Okay. All Starforts show the golden ratio, 1.618. The precision and the mathematics that go into them is absolutely fantastic, and the geometry is just mind-blowing. It is super futuristic stuff for people that claim to be in a world of horse and fucking carty. Just makes no sense. Anyway, so how Starforts converted their energy is what we're going to look at now. So they were energy hubs designed to harness and amplify natural forces. Their geometric precision aligned with ley lines. And they used resonant materials, as we know, suggesting that they were built to channel telluric and atmospheric energy. Telluric and atmospheric etheric energy. What you're looking at here, this is from the English Civil War. So the English Civil War, 1660s, there was two of them on there. And this is Oxford. So where the university is and all the elite brats go to, they put a massive Starfort system, but check out the Starfort system and how much water is going into the Starfort system. So if you were an invading army, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, there's dozens of ways in. So it's not a fucking, a very good defensible position, because all you need is a few scuba divers. Not that they had scuba divers, but they probably did. Anyway. So etheric resonance, okay, so it was the star shape and the symmetry in the star shape, just like you get with resonators on church roofs. They're just perfect symmetry, aren't they? And that seems to be what's happening with the Starforts too. It's not random. So they act like frequency amplifiers, pulling in etheric energy from the atmosphere, and its sharp angles. Excuse me. That you can see there, these arrows, okay. Excuse me. And its symmetrical layout, as you can see, if you put a line down the middle, it'll be the same more or less both sides except for the buildings. Oh, that's a beautiful example. Strasbourg, look at that. With the arrows. Oh, it's perfect. Look at that. Layout created harmonic resonance, okay, allowing energy to be stored and distributed. Now, remember what I said about ley lines. Now, I found something else out this week about who mapped the ley lines, and it led me straight back to the Starforts. The Knights Templar mapped ley lines as they went, and on ley lines, they built the churches. For example, is Roslin Church in Edinburgh in Scotland, the famous Roslin Church, smack on really important nodal point ley line. That's why they put it there. And there's a big line of, you know, Templar cathedrals and Gothic churches that were all put specifically on ley lines, as these were. Now, theme of water. See the water going in, traveling all the way around, and then you get the arrow breakers as well. Okay, bit like if you think about breaking or disturbing a wave function, and then it travels through on the other side. So even though this is supposed to be the wooden shacked world here in this Starfort, okay, in Spain, you can see that outside is a infinitely more advanced technology. So water and electromagnetic flow. So many of these structures, guys, were natural conductors, flowing energy and generating piezoelectric effects, converting kinetic energy into usable power. And doesn't that make perfect sense? Why all of these have water? Look at this one in Poland. I've talked about this many times. The water comes in, it goes right around the entirety of what is a city that is below ground level. The entire thing is below ground level. All this up here is ground level. It's just like in a crater, if you want. And the river goes all the way around. Now, imagine all of them energies, them natural flowing energies, and being in that city, and the Starfort, which is amplifying the chi energy as well, and scalar waves that are coming up through the, you know, the standing waves as well off the water that is flowing around these. They had a technology to harness it. Okay. Well, that's what I've discovered anyway. So, and the intricate designs. Now, this is a lost one. You can see the countryside is peppered. I visited one of these up in by near Nottingham once with Mel, who's in chat, and it just looked exactly like this. But there was an energy coming off it. I won't lie, I did feel something while I was there. And there's a lot of what are essentially barracks, but a lot of prisons as well have been put onto these inside of these Starforts. Look at that, for example. You can see the technasmia waves. You know, if you can imagine magnetic propagation emanating from the center point outwardly, that is what this picture is actually showing. It really is. I wish I should do a metal filing experiment. Maybe I'll show it more. But yeah. So they used in their constructions highly conductive materials, as we know. In the churches that are often in centers, they use copper. They have copper domes as well, don't they, in Tartaria and inside some of these structures that are inside. But copper is definitely part of this. Look at that one, the way it fractalizes out. And then an extra water to make sure extra feeder to make sure that the water isn't running out. So it's partly electromagnetic technology. It is etheric, but it is definitely using water flow. Not hydroelectricity. This is a different form. This is collecting the waves, the standing waves that are coming off of them. Other people, there's ideas out there. I've seen people talking about celestial alignment. Well, we don't know what the luminaries are. I don't go with what anything they say, but it could be. It could be that there's energy. Stars are souls. It could be that then lights in the sky do emit some sort of electromagnetics, plasma, who even knows. That could be soaked in also, you know, to these Starforts. But no mistake, they put, this is Amsterdam, as you can see. Half the city is there and half the city is not. I actually wrote a chapter about that at the end of my Holy Grail of the Flat Earth book, where I first touched upon mud flood in my first book. What do you think? Let's go there. So I think that is the hidden technology of what is going on. I definitely think it's along those lines, okay, because it makes perfect sense, especially with this one. Look at the water going in there, feeding it all the way around. And then these directionalization dart shapes that I've, you know, never really considered before as part of that technology. But yeah, definitely that's why they're there. And that's why so many. So yeah, I think we learned something there. I'm going to learn something more about knights. It's a funny name, knights, isn't it? I wonder why they're called knights. Knights of the Round Table. But I've been looking into knights as well, and the chivalric code is a bit nutty. I don't know whether you've seen it. Hopefully it'll come up now. I did save the chivalric code. But it's bonkers. 595 you watching. Happy Flatter Day to you all. 2 Teutonic Knights. Teutonic Knights. So yeah, I don't know what to say about this. Let's have a look at this knight. So this is a knight of old. It's got like basically saw blades on his ears, a bit like Robot Wars, and he's got a big, massive conch on him, like he's from no city, and he's got a pretty little frock on. So it could be that a chick wore this, and it could be that this is nothing to do with fisticuffs on the battlefield with swords and stuff, but maybe a more elaborate protection from something that's going on in the atmosphere. Check this out. The visors are insane. You know, you definitely want to see what you're doing, especially if you're having a fight. The fact that they're supposed to, have people help them get into these. So they're supposed to be quite actually, you know, you can do shit in it, but if you fall over, you ain't getting back up. That's what they don't tell you when you become a knight. Is A, you got to wear a frock or a cod piece, and it's heavy as all fucks. And if you fall over, sorry, you're just going to die. If you fall face down in the mud, you're going to die. So that makes no sense to me at all. But this does. Electro Knights. We talked about it many times, haven't we? We've seen the Nuremberg pictures of people using electric swords in the past. And you can see here, Van de Graaff generator. Funny enough, that's my name today. And this lady who is, or man, who is in silver foil on their feet. But chainmail. Because chainmail is awesome for electromagnetic protection. As you can see, she's taking on a load of plasma, and she's not actually dying because she's protected by an unbelievable bit of chainmail, which is what all knights seem to have. And not only knights horses. So yeah, they got chainmail, they got these steel things. Now, I don't think this is for the swords of the day. You can't even lift these fucking swords anyway. And arrows and all of that caper, it just seems really stupid. You know, this guy's got like saw blades on his head. You telling me they turned? Fuck yeah, that's nasty, isn't it? Yeah. But maybe it wasn't for being nasty. Maybe it was like some sort of air conditioning. Yeah, keep your head cool in whatever you're doing in that strange bird-like suit. So yeah, they got some really bonkers. Can you see that? Yeah, bonkers knights outfits. What about that one? So it could be that they were robotic as well, couldn't it? So yeah, that one looks actually robotic, but yeah, dog face. Could have been because they had dog face. This is actually from France, from the First World War, and it's to keep you alive when you get gassed. So yeah, over elaborate armor. Would you wear this on the battlefield? No. It's fully Phoenician. Is it ceremonial? Possibly. Or is there more technology going on with it? Yes, I think so. Not only that, I looked into the chivalric rights, and turns out to be a knight, you have to join a secret brotherhood, like the Teutonic Knights, like we just mentioned, and the Knights Templar. Okay, who went off, they say, crusading. They say a lot of things about the Knights Templar as well, don't they? So, you know, causing aspersions of their sexuality. I don't know if they know that all that fucking time ago, but they do say all of that about the Knights Templar. Anyway, so they were protectors, knights, of a forbidden knowledge, guys, left over. And knights, they weren't just warriors, they were guardians of ancient secrets, keepers of lost technology. No fucking shit. Take a look at their armor. And defenders of hidden realms. If you read the chivalric rights, you can see that they were pretty noble, but they're in the mentality of, oh, I was too brave to spare the women and children. You know, they're sort of that mentality. So there's that. A steel dress. So would that be for electromagnetic protection? I don't think it'd do much on the battlefield. Or is it just singing what I think it's singing, that this is some sort of advanced technology of the old world, all in plain sight? Right in the plain sight. You know, on the battlefield, why would you wear a skirt? Maybe if it rained down arrows, it would save your legs and ping it off. No. Keep your legs dry in the rain. I don't know, guys, why you would wear a dress on a battlefield. Makes no sense to me. Some of this is the back of an ancient, bit of an armor. A few 100-year-old, you can see. But there seems to be a panel in there and possibly some sort of wiring as well. So I've proposed that there could be some sort of, you know, maybe robot technology going on. Look at that. Stick that on your arm, like, yeah, cyborg and mutant. And then you've got like, worse than Edward Scissorhands. I mean, or worse than Fred Krueger hands. Fred Krueger. Look at that. That's just nuts, isn't it? Whatever is wrong with them all, I think that's absolutely unnecessary. That's what I think. So there you are. This is in Nuremberg, 1600s, and what you find is this big do, which I've talked about since 2016, but it's showing people with swords going zap, zap, zap. And they seem to have maybe some sort of coating on, to maybe some sort of Faraday cageage to keep themselves safe. Zappage, zappage, zappage with their swords. Swords. It's like this. This is a cutlass, but if you can see, the hilt on a cutlass is not unlike a television aerial or an antenna. Not unlike it at all. What about ethers? They interfere with the ether, don't they? So, the hidden power of knightly orders. So, Templars and the etheric grid. Okay, so the Knights Templars weren't just crusaders. They were engineers of energy. And not only that, they did the mapping for the ley lines, where all of these unbelievable structures like Starforts, not all, Starforts was constructed, cathedrals that all harnessed a energy form that is lost to us in the modern day, or they won't tell us about it, but they got it. Check this out. These are samurai. Telling me that's not some sort of technology. Like serpents. Oh no, that's octopus, isn't it? You see octopus linked with knights a lot. I wonder what that link is. Octopus and knights. Don't know. So yeah, just crazy knight helmets. But it's not going to help you in battle. You know, you've seen knights in battle on Monty Python, and it all ends pretty bad, doesn't it? But yeah, these interact with the ether. These are the Japanese samurais. And this guy got buried, I guess. But yeah, he's got a seashell, which is the Phoenician thing. What looks like a parasite or something on his chest. One of those arthropod, sea creatures. And he looks like a sea creature, doesn't he? So I don't know what it exactly is, but it's on exhibit somewhere. And it looks like Aquaman, man from Atlantis. These are for making a thing called blancmange. You pour it in, or jelly, and it sets in there. And that was the helmet, I think, of Alexander the Great. He had Tarty Phoenician stuff going on as well. Look at these, holding shields with faces on, and he's got shields with faces on. What would that mean? It's like Medusa tech, isn't it? So yeah, Phoenician demons or devil, ugly fucking things. Excuse me. So yeah, let's start lost Starfort and technology. So what I think is what we find when we look into the Ancient Order, especially the Knights Templar, God Almighty, the story of them's 10 times so trippy. But at the end of the day, just like all ancient civilizations, the Knights Templar disappeared. They disappeared. Yeah. You see one of them in the Indiana Jones movie. He comes back to life. He's been dead for years. One or two of the knights, maybe, are in cathedrals, laying in fucking state of animated, suspended animation. And the rest, the ancient orders, the protectors of this ancient Tartarian technologies, have disappeared. So where did they go? Where did they go with? Well, it's a distinct possibility, I think, that if they designed the Starforts and put them on these nodal points, that they would have gone into the Starforts. And maybe the Starforts go to places below us. And this is just the top, you know? What was it the Hopi Indians said? Where did all the people come? They came from the stars. Not the stars up there, the Starforts. They could be just coming up through there as well. There's just no mistaking. I got like maps of where these things are, Starforts in the world, and it is just absolutely mind-boggling to think that they're absolutely everywhere. And another thing is these are absolutely mind-boggling, aren't they? These night things. The Medusa. So we talked about Medusa technology with the decode of Greatest Secret Never Told. 2 converging serpents, just like you get on the Caduceus. Suggests an ancient energy form. Angel's wings open, yeah, and the Medusa, always with the serpent, which we, well, Flat Earth British, are definitely thinking is the meaning for electromagnetics, EM, in the past. Okay. Yeah, so he went on the battlefield, got a weird little face like a basket case, and then it rained, and all of his visor filled up with water, and he unfortunately drowned. That's what happened. Check this timestamp, 4 serpents. Indeed. Hi, Glenn Sketches. What? Yeah, look at these hilts on these as well. Serpenty hilts. So I've got some x-rays of hilts. There's damn sight more going on inside them than you might imagine. In these bits here, the handles and the hilts, there's a technology hidden. Look at that. Sure they were just for stabbing? This one's in silver as well. But that's worth a few Spondylax. Wow, look at the head stuff on him. It's like something out of an Avengers movie. Wonder where they got that all them ideas from. You get the gods with wings on their hats, like Mercury, you see him with wings on his head, and other gods as well. Poseidon, he's got little tiny little wings on his head. Look at this. So he can hear instructions on the battlefield, and so his brain can breathe, and then he can see through them little tiny slits. You go on the battlefield with that helmet on, you're a fucking dead man, is what I can tell you. That's just stupid. So here's x-rays from sword hilt here. You can see that there's actually a lot more going on inside some of these than you might imagine, suggesting that they might have been not just stabby stab, but more zappy zap. So is a nation of advanced technology. I know what they tell you was going on, but I don't think that is what's going on. I think the truth is in plain sight in museums. This has been part of my narrative for almost 10 years now, I guess. I don't know, years. It's the Faceless Knight. It comes up in all Phoenician depictions, hieroglyphicum, alchemical depictions, galore, even Renaissance paintings. You can just see that the classical world are carrying an effigy of a knight that is missing. It's just his armor, okay? And this is the Faceless Knight. And we've been wondering, we think it's an analogy for this is what happens to material, matter, okay? Like organic matter turns to dust, but the steel and everything of the armor would stay in situ. So this has been flying around for years. I don't know why it would have something like a wire or something that looks like a little cute puppy dog. Nose is a bit deformed and an eye. So it's difficult to determine. It looks maybe like a bit of a worm going on, or a serpent. Who even knows? Or it could be a wire where they've just ripped it off, you know? It's like a robot. Check this out. I think this is more contemporary. They were wearing that back in the days of chivalry. I don't know. So use the chivalric code. Let's see what they get up to. So if you join the Brotherhood of being a knight, you get your knight's armor. You're off on quests, kill a dragon, save the maiden from her tower, and loads of good stuff. So nobility and service, death before dishonor. I was too brave to spare the women and children. 3, enterprise in obedience to rule. 4, respect all worthy people. Don't sound too good for the unworthy then. 5, honor all those above your station. I'm not going to be able to be a knight. 6, command obedience through respect. Yeah, he's all right. He is, that knight. Sorted. He's safe. Sort of thing. 6, command obedience through respect. I've done that. 7, scorn those who are ignoble. Scorn those who are ignoble. So, is that like homeless people and stuff hanging around in the street? Arms for Allah. You what? Is it along those lines? I don't know. I'm not like. 8, protect the innocent. No, that would be regarded as one of the innocent. So, okay, we like that. We like that. I do that. I protect the innocent. Okay. Punish the guilty. Do that too. Punish the guilty. That's not bad so far. Courtesy to all ladies. Fucking no, they're definitely not the Ottomans, eh? Defend your charge until death. Okay, is my charge my horse? Oh, my charge is my mission, isn't it? 14. War is the flowering of chivalry. War is flowering of chivalry. That don't sound too good. Don't do that. Don't go there. 15. Death to all who oppose the cause. Death to everybody who opposes the cause. Okay, that sounds a bit fucking culty. Yeah, it sounds really culty, actually. Arts. Is that arts? Arts are the food of chivalrous. Arts. So they paint a little picture. Is that with or without the armor on? 17. Anger blinds. A cool head wins the day. That's the best information there today on this vlog. Yeah, that is some serious Bruce Lee shit right there. Okay. Anger blinds you. You get your ass kicked. If you keep your head cool and just watch that fucker coming at you, be able to take it out easy. Bob Sykes knows all about that, keeping cool in a fight, don't you, Bob? Anyway. So, yeah, I don't think I'll bother being a knight. Fucking obedience to... Yeah, sounds fucking awesome. We'll do that. Anyway, we've got loads to share, loads more to come, and this will be about 2.5 hours in total, this vlog. We got loads of things to look forward to. I went on a test thing earlier today for... the Tartarian convention is next Saturday. I met Michelle Gibson. I met Michelle Gibson for the first time after all these years now of Tartarian stuff. No problem has been solved through anger. Well, everyone does the wrong decision, don't they? They just spaz out. They just stupidly, I'm going to go pack his head in now. Go off and do it. They end up banged up. The person who banged it, they fucked up, who was the bad person, gets away with everything. So that's not really a good mentality. It's best to let karma sort things out. Big believer in the universe watches everything, and that if you are a total shit, there you are, Kathy Brown. Oh, well, it's not going to go good for you, I think. Tim, man, I see a lot of cowardness in the area. Can't go into details, but there's bad things going down in the world today. There really is. But I'm not going to focus on that because I'm a true fan. And I'm doing the love version of reality, because I'm much more enjoying that. God, imagine being in a world of wah, wah, oh, it's all happened to me. Oh, it's like, and they're usually the people that they're telling like all of this terrible stuff that happened to me, because that's their like mantra for life, isn't it? The past, and they go, oh, you know, all this happened to me. Oh, you want to see what happened to me when I was young, and all of that. The person they're telling it to, like, is probably not even going to utter a word. Has had it 10 times worse. Always fucking me, 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 me. Yeah, I'm sure we've all had it tough. There's no use banging on about it because it doesn't exist. The past is figments. Well, it's gone. Doesn't even exist. Never did, really. It's always nows. Nows. The time is now. So there's no point thinking about the past and things like that doesn't even matter. It's just an excuse. I definitely think it's an excuse. People bringing up the past and not owning it. Owning what they're doing, yeah. That's what it's about, isn't it? Only 10% of Templars were fighters. The rest were money changers. Yeah, that's the narrative, isn't it? But yeah, they had great wealth. I think one of the richest organizations as well was the Benedictine monks at that period, so they say. One of the richest organizations on earth. If money is the root of all evil, it makes you wonder why the church needs so fucking much, doesn't it? Big Dog? What do they do with it all? Don't answer that. Just don't answer that. I don't want to know. Bonnie? So, I bet they're like a dominated party. As soon as they get into the room where they, you know, try on different dresses and all that, I bet they're like, oh, let's say it quiet. Oh, go on then, Philip. Hail Satan! Hail Satan! And they sneak all Hail Satans in the church. I bet you any money. Sneak one out. Oh, that felt good. Yes, didn't it feel good? They'll think we're godly. Yeah, I know. So, learn to surf the timelines with joy. D. Hanson, good wise words, my friend. That's what we're going to do. Right, let's have a look at some fantastic images of antiquity. Chris, thank you for being here. Holistic Media is our lovely India. Good to see you, lovely. The time is now. Are you thinking Maloko's track? So yeah, Scott Spellerine is in the chat right now. Massive thanks to Scott, who sent me all Radiohead's back catalogue in 432. We're having a great time. Well, last night though, I watched Led Zeppelin live at Nebworth. Oh my God, Indigitally remastered. Oh my God, my head. Yeah, and this week I'm going through a John Bonham phase. This happens every 10 years. I go through John Bonham, it's possibly Jeebus phase. But I did all that with Eric Clapton. I keep switching and changing whoever I'm listening to that week. But yeah, fuck a duck. They're brilliant on 432. Oh man, there's so much going on I never heard on my other albums. It's amazing. Thanks. So birthday month, happy birthday month, Dan. Good to see you as well. Okay, let's get back to more juice. We're going to look at, right, and Dolphy was a photographer, apparently, the late 1800s. He took some photographs of New York City. This is like an infinitely populated building full of massive Tartarian buildings, but you're not going to see too many people around. 23, Dan? 23rd birthday? Is that true? You're going to blow candles out and predictively program yourself into the grave. Birthdays, I don't do them. Somebody, what was it Mr. Marmite said earlier? Oh, Christmas is coming. Oh, fucking hell. Brilliant. I don't do it. Never will again either. Fucking forced to do that like all the other stuff that was forced to do because of fucking families. So I don't have to do that anymore. Fucking awesome. That's another fucking hellsate thing that everyone gets joined in with. Fuck off. Anyway. You all ready for Christmas? Somebody says to you and you're like, what does that even mean? You know, all for one day. Christmas presents, all our food, all our stress. You got to do it right or your life is not worth living. She'll divorce you. She'll probably kill you if you don't get it right. Fucking hell. See, I had all that for donkey's years when I was married, when I was like in a relationship. Soon as Christmas was over with, she was putting money down in fucking January for next year's Christmas presents. I was like, is that what it is? She's getting prepared for the next bullshit. And I don't even like Christmas. It sucks. Don't even like the atmosphere of it. It's a bit like devil worshipping, so I'm not really into that. I like more holistic, grassy things. Anyway, so yeah, this is obviously the river outside New York. As you can see, all the massive skyscrapers. No, there's none now. Fort Wood and the Statue of Liberty is definitely here in the year of 1890, and lovely steamships with sails as well. So let's have a look at New York. Look at this. I'm guessing this is a lighthouse, but yeah, it's proper Tartaria. Governor's Island. Okay, there's a large starfort on Governor's Island, and this, as far as I know, is inside of it. I got it on a map on my wall in my kitchen. There's one on Governor's Island, Ellis Island. There's one in Brooklyn, and there's Fort Wood, which is on Liberty Island, which they built apparently a great big statue on top of a starfort. Now, I don't know of anywhere else in the world that have put a thumping great statue of Lucifer on top of their starfort. It's probably the only starfort statue in the world, I would say. So that's the exchange. Exchange what? The size of that steamship, French steamship. So look at that. That's like an old English church in New York. Is that St. Patrick's? No, the Trinity Church. Look at all the knobbly bits on there. There's lots of wires in the air as well. Sky trains in New York. God, one place I'd like to try time travel to is old New York, also old London as well. But yeah, man, the sounds and the smells. Whew. Steamboats, bringing all our cargo in, all the mafia, ripping everything off. Oh, brilliant days. Oh, what was his name, that famous New York gangster that was... It's not Luciano, Lucky Luciano. Which one was it? Anyway, he got rewarded in World War II for sorting out the dockers from a strike so they could get food over to Europe prior to D-Day. Jesus Christ, look at the size of that. It's a lovely bit of a Tartaria with a landing platform on top, and look at all of that caper. Okay. So obviously you need a big massive building like that to go and post a letter, a little tatty letter for this big. Oh, look at this. Walking down to the area where all the press are. Look at this. So yeah, horse and carts across there, people across there. Wow. It's mad. 135 years ago now, guys, and it all looked like that. But yeah, Fort Wood, look. Starfort. And I don't know of any other Starforts that got this thumping great statue. People are not fussed on it anymore, are they? They're like, because the French asked for it back as well. So I fucking have it. It's not all that. You want a big, massive statue of Bender or Futurama, so somewhere along them lines. Something non-fucking dangerous. Look at that for a landing platform and that. See, I don't think that's an observation deck. That literally looks like you just land a balloon on there. And all these turrets as well at the top are really weird. But yeah, look at the size of that bugger. The Washington Building, number 1 Broadway. And I'm guessing they did a bit of shipbuilding. Okay. I've not actually seen any of these photographs before today. Do I wear a mole? Do I have a mole or a freckle? Got a birthmark on my back. Strange thing to ask. Right, let's have a look at what's going on with that bloody aerial there. I hope radio has been invented at this period. Oh, we've got an anomaly. On Broadway. So, Battery Park. Obviously, there was a Starfort in this area in the past, a ginormous one I've talked about many times. Everyone's got a top hat on. That's in winter months, isn't it? I guess really cold in New York in the winter, doesn't it? Look at that building. Wow, that is super unusual. And that's on top of another building. A building on top of a building. How are they doing this shit in the old world? Car hasn't even been invented yet. Horse and carts, guys. Boggles the mind, doesn't it? City Hall Station. They got trains, obviously. And all of that. Wow. Just mind-boggling. Broad Street. New York Stock Exchange on Broad Street. City Park. From the World Bank building. That one with the big copper dome. Oh, it's very atmospheric, that picture. The size of that thing. Post office. So, have a look at this horse and cat. So they haven't got the electric tram just yet either. They've got trains. They haven't got any car. This goes all the way to Brooklyn, and they just got what? 2 horses to carry what? Tons of people. And they built all of this world. Oh, look, the old ladder lean, 2 of them. Mud flood windows, stairs going down. Everything showing mud flood. Upper balustrades, case of floods. Just madness, isn't it? So yeah, that'd be nice to walk across that bridge. You can still do the Brooklyn Bridge in the modern day. And look, a bit of the classical world. The Washington Arch. So they got a big they're a big fan club for the Romans, aren't they? The elites, some reason, or the classical education, the classical theme, classical this and classical that. It's not all that. It's a bit weird and vain, and ugh. I don't like it myself. It's a matter of perspective, though. Columbia building, Jesus. I wonder how many of these buildings actually exist in the modern day. Chickering Hall, which is a pagoda building, looks quite a little oriental to me. So what are the wires for? I'm guessing telegraph. Okay, I'm guessing telegraph. Not too many people around. Wow, that looks like St. Marco's Tower in Venice, doesn't it? And this looks like a bit of the Exposition style. Madison Square Gardens. That's before the stadium, isn't it? That's before Penn Street Station too. Yeah, that's a crazy tower, isn't it? Wow. Fifth Avenue Hotel. Oh, you know, the size of that. Who's staying in these buildings? They must have trillions of people because they're massive. And you never see that many on the streets, do you? Look at that. City Hall, Bridge entrance, the Sun, the Tribune, and the Times. Big copper domes. Actually, that's a gold dome on that one. Hoffman House, making LSD. No motor cars. I'm just wondering about all that shit in the streets, but it's a time-lapse photography. Yeah, horse and cart, he made all of this. Carried her all there. All the glass, all the stone, all the mud. What's going on there? There's some work under the railway lines. Looks like a lighthouse, but again, look at this thing here, this balustrade thing. Yeah, moles of birthmarks. So I got a couple of freckles on my nose. I really like freckles. I think freckles are dead cute, especially on girls. Freckles and little sweaty nose on a girl. It's really cute, isn't it? So that's just me, though. I like freckles. Okay. Freckly. Then later they replaced with liver spots. Oh, I'm really joking. Manhattan Club. Oh, that sounds very, very Masonic. So yeah, notice how some peoples, like, they gang together and they get a little club together, and then they look after one another's ass, and everyone else can fuck off. That's what they do. They get a little club together, share information, get hold of some forbidden knowledge, so to speak. Wonder when that was built with all the ivy. Under threat of, don't spill the beans off about any of this, otherwise you're going to get putting concrete blocks in the bottom of the river. So you keep quiet. Because Dustians, what's the word? Doesn't matter. My brain's just fucking gone. Wow, this is Fifth Avenue, the Vanderbilt mansions. Yeah. So it's funny how the Astors and the Vanderbilts and all the other elites ended up with mansions on Fifth Avenue. But I think they were, didn't have them built, like they say. I think they were just got the best gaffs after Tartaria, best dibsies. Do you have dibsies in America? Dibsies? They had best dibsies. Dib, that's mine. Dibsies. Drive in a park. Hammer through on a Harley. Look at this, all lower windows. Nice little conservatory. So you can sit, smoking your Havana cigar. I think that's the Amsterdam Hotel over there. And there's that Phoenician thing I mentioned earlier. I think this one's on Madison Avenue, though. And it's got Phoenician ships and anchors. See that? Ramming ships. And some Columbus, who discovered America. Whatever. I wonder why they push him. Oh, I do know why they push him. Okay. The new Netherlands Hotel, yeah, and the Savoy. Look at that. Just like Dakota. It looks a Dakota style. They changed it to the Holland Hotel as well. I'm sure they did. Metropolitan Opera House. Wow. Why so many windows in a opera house? Maybe they all live in there, opera singers. I don't know. Whew. Union League Club, Fifth Avenue. I haven't seen that one. Wow, sir. The lower windows. And like a somatic patterned church windowy type affair up on the apex. Just full of, and the columns, which is definitely part of this technology, the columns. I was thinking about it the other day. Resonation technologies with the columns. Especially when you look at St. Peter's Square. It's the shape of a key as well. St. Peter's Square in Rome. Got a picture on my wall. I was looking at it earlier, and it's completely surrounded by columns, Roman columns. And I was thinking, yeah, they're definitely part, and in front of the basilica as well. But they all resonate. It's all part of that technology. Hammer steam, hammer time. It's hammer time. Look at that. Seen this picture, Ultra HD. This isn't. And these cats here look like they're added. They don't even. They look like maybe they just traced them in or something, but they definitely look added. So I wonder what everyone's doing. What they all got umbrellas up for? And where's the sky? Why is there no sky in any of these pictures? I don't know. Old Arsenal Zoological Gardens. Fucking hell. That's another thing that should be made illegal. Zeus's. And poor critters, where everyone can go up at them having a cunt of a time. Fucking polar bears. Oh, look, we'll paint the wall to make it look like ice for the polar bear. It's like the polar bear's fucking stupid or something. It's like, yeah, I'm not digging the fucking paint scheme. It's not ice, Try and con animals. Yeah, get rid of all of them zoos, man. Free the zoos. They did that in Nine Monkeys, is it? What's that film? The time traveling film with Brad Pitt. Something Monkeys. They did that. There, he freed all of the zoo. He freed all the animals. I'm done with that. Real animals. Obviously not lions and tigers on busy streets where there's children. Obviously not that. Or stampeding elephants, which would not be good. So that was pretty. We had a little. We went through Central Park and we never got mugged. Brilliant. Okay. Cowards. Dwight made a statement. Gravel to their dark holes. Okay, these are in Paris. Bit of questions with these as well. I was a bit confused about it all, to be honest with you, especially with timelines all colliding the way they do. Montmartre, the central bit of Paris where there's a big basilica and a sort of separate hill area, Montmartre, which is in Paris, but they got their own thing going on. So these are really early of like 1880s. But what I don't get is the whole city was like laid to waste in 1871, the same year as in San Francisco, in what they say was the Franco-Prussian War with the Communards, etc. Okay, so they got a railway, narrow gauge railway, bringing big stone in to build the basilica, which I think was being built, because I got photographs, but it seems really old, doesn't it? That's in the new John Wick's movie as well. He has his last boss off outside of this St. Mary Sacre Bleu church. So yeah, all of this is up on top of Paris, up on the hill. And it's a very holy site, apparently. Being visited by Clyde. There's a lot of vandalism on there. So a little shrine, stop off, have a pray. Can you give me stuff, God? God, I promise I won't do anything wrong again if you give me loads of stuff. Please. Why won't you give me things? I wanted a Lamborghini Corsa, and I got a Volkswagen Polo. There's all rubble full in there. Right, let's have a look at that tower. That's a bit unusual. So the whole tower is full of stone. I'm afraid I do not know. So yeah, what are they doing here? 1887 is, I don't know, but they're digging below Montmartre. This is the Montmartre. This is below street level, and there is what looks like ancient tunnels and openings below street level. The city was there before. So yeah, look how high that hill is as well. You've got a fort on top. All right, these are really rough, these photographs. I'll show what that's showing. Right, existence of the old world, 1887. Classical pillar tops. So yeah, it's like its own little village, isn't it? But it's really ancient. And I'm guessing this is it. This is they're building the basilica here. I've got a nice colour photograph of this. The Sacre something or other. Sacre Bleu. Okay, well, that looks old as all fucks underneath it. It is. Look at that. So they're building the basilica, but underneath it is ancient catacombs. Ooh, look at that. Ka-ching. There's no way you can say that's new build, is there, guys? And even more down here. Right. A lot of older stuff. Okay, and they're laying the foundations for the basilica. Well, they're laying the stones dirty as fuck. What about all this just being here already, this bottom bit? What's she doing there? Does she work on the building site? She's not really dressed for it, is she? that's weird. Right, this is right on top. All Paris is down below there, look. Can we see any... can't see any Statue of Liberty. Right, okay. Oh, it's a big, elaborate, shitty wooden scaffold. They didn't use any steel poles back then, did they? So that looks really, really old. So I don't know what they've done with this basilica. It looks like they've mixed a bit of what was left of the old world and then just built off of that. That's what it looks like. Excuse me. But yeah, isn't it massive? So yeah, I've got a colour photo, my images of the day of this thing being built. No, it's older. It's way older. And they are adding to it. Oh, look at the gargoyle. Super interesting photographs. Never seen these before, really. Seen loads of that area of Paris, but not these particular ones. Right, what's going on behind them? Okay, that's new brickwork, I would say. But that lower stuff seems really old, doesn't it? So there they are, the builders, the architects of the old days. Sorry, that's just inside, not too sure what that is. So there it is, it's getting built. The dome's not on it yet. Looks a bit Moorish. Okay, doesn't it? Oh, they got some churchy people going up and doing shit. Yeah, some priests with a cross. A load of what looks like priestly people. And they put a big cross on top. And then they're going to go and like curse its ass. Yes, let's make sure this is not holy, like unholy in it. There you are. They got the dome on top, and that's what it looks like in the modern day. Watch John Wick 4, you'll be able to see it in more detail. Oh, they built a model. Why build one when you can build two? So, don't know who to attribute that to. So that's the Moulin Rouge, which ended up a bit of a knock-in shop, where that Toulouse-Lautrec hangs around. God, he's weird, isn't he? And his art is shit. I don't know why anyone likes Toulouse-Lautrec. But I'm no art expert, so there's that. It's probably really brilliant. I just don't think so. Interesting. What are you saying, Bonnie? Missing chat. The Moulin Rouge. Well, they do have the can-can dancers, and apparently they wear crutchless knickers. I don't know if that's true, because I've never been. But it sounds about right for Paris. It sounds awesome, actually. Somewhere. What is that fence around there? For ladies to have a cup of beautiful French coffee in the Café Oriental. Okay. Tell you what, I am gonna I've got flat a day images, and I've got everything that I'm going to be doing the next few weeks. Just actually, I've just got like really, really bad shooting pains in my stomach, so I'm not really going to be able to carry on for long. Don't know what it is. Started just before. Maybe it's the last cup of coffee. Anyway, in July or next month is this. It's been organised by my friend Albino, and it's going to be absolutely epic. There's a posh meal included, and a load of crypto, something or other donation. But we're going up the tower, which is apparently steps, no lift, and we're going to be taking photographs long distance. There's a shitload of stuff planned for the weekend. If you are interested and you want to go to Venice, contact Albino. You can see there, and that is linked below in the descriptions box. Okay. And this is happening next Saturday. I'm on at 5 o'clock, and I will link up and send you all the links to you can view it then. Campbell presenting Leviticus and Matty Leakham, Michelle Gibson, Charles Formoso, Charles Ross, Guy Anderson, Jason and Bridget and Elizabeth, who I spoke to earlier, and Jordan Nuttall, who I've spoken to as well. So that's going to be happening next weekend. Rise Up's coming soon. So stop sharing. That's been me. So 600 of you watching. I've only been talking for 1 hour 15 minutes. I know it's a lot less than I usually do, but the juice is in there. I've got to get off camera and sort myself out. I've got a sweat on now as well. So make sure to subscribe to my channel if you like my content. And please, thank you, Roy. And please like this video if you did. Okay, that's 3 decodes today. That's the Knights and the Starforts and the Expositions World's Fairs. Thanks, Mo. Mo Samson. Oh, thanks, Kay. Make sure to share this out. Yeah. Okay. So there's loads of content for you to catch up. I've done 3 videos in the last week, so it's not like it's short of any content on Flat Earth British. So I hope you enjoyed this post. I've got to get off. Okay. Much love to you all and happy Friday. See you soon.